Good evening, Internet. Good morning, Internet. And for some of you, good afternoon, Internet. It is Monday Night ARCA Week 5 No Toad Racing League at the Devil of Short Tracks, Bristol Motor Speedway. I have got with me, speaking of the devil, the sexy devil. Oh, God, we don't need to start that, actually. The man here who is leading both the 1987 Legends cars points and the Xfinity points, Mr. Kyle Gretsch. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good. I wasn't expecting to hear that, especially at the beginning of the season, but I'll take it.
Well, I learned a long time ago, take any win you can get, figuratively and literally. So we've got kind of a Thunderdome tonight, and I know that this has become old hat, but what are we doing tonight for fuel, and what are we doing tonight for tires at old Bristol Motor Speedway?
We're looking at about 100 laps on fuel. We're running about 60% iRacing fuel, and then we're running 3 sets of tires. Now, the big thing here is we have a lot of right front wear, especially for people that are running the high side. So tire wear later on in the runs, if we get there, will be a big issue, just with wearing that constantly. And then, you get these meatball flags for tire wear at some point. So it'd be real interesting to watch that.
Be the one time I don't want anything to do with a meatball. We are about 7.5 minutes out running practice. As you can see here, Skylar Carnes has come out and decided that Brugg just isn't going to take this one without a fight, so .01 the difference here in practice. But Roy, hide all the trophies because he's coming to take them. .05 back. Rob Hottenbach, who's in another paint scheme again tonight, .09. Al Rafter Corey just a tick over a tenth slower. We see the 27. That's our points leader in the 87s and the Xfinity, so he is out tooling around. We got Michael Corvu. We've got John Crutchley. We got Matt Corner. We've got Tyler Merritt, and that is Dustin Barton. And we've got Mr. Harrison has come back to play with us, or race with us, or however you want to put it. So he'll be rocking the Coors car tonight, the Bill Elliott Legacy Edition. James Lawson, Joe David, and looks like the Bensonator is rounding out the 15th place of the group. Pop some of these down here, and we'll just going to hop on to everybody and just ride around with them for the last few minutes. See what it looks like on track.
Interesting to note here is we're running about 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty warm for a nighttime race. So this will be really, really interesting and kind of add to something that's already challenging about Bristol and these ARCA cars, just kind of having that slip. Because once these things start slipping, it is a real pain to kind of get these back under control.
Yep. From the inside shot, if you look at the top left corner of the windshield here, as you start to dive off, there is very little, depending on your seat height, that you can actually see. Joseph David here, he's looks like he's probably got the default set, just guessing here. I like to be able to see a little bit of nose, so my camera angle, I've actually got mine up a little bit. Plus, I'm kind of tall, so I mean, I am kind of assuming I'd probably be a little closer to them top roll bars. I have a real hard time, especially from the dead center of 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, getting into the actual entry of the straightaway. It's almost a dead spot for me, and I have caught some pretty big ouchies from that.
I run a really, really far forward FOV, so I don't know if you can jump on board with me currently, but my FOV is a lot farther forward and kind of harder to see out that left side than it is for everyone else.
Yeah, and I think we're running off of mine because I can see the tops of your pedals.
I can see like that just below, beside that left side window. I can see like a sliver, so I'm running real far forward.
Yep. We're using mine. I can see the sides of your headrest and some net. I mean, of course, I've got a pretty big monitor that sits not quite a foot away from my face, so I can have that thing opened up a little bit. But yeah, it's I really think that's one of the biggest challenges of Bristol is just the fact that, I mean, it's size, which, Captain Obvious, but being so small, there's not a whole lot of room to operate. And, I mean, we all know you're making laps in like 15 seconds, but something happens that doesn't necessarily make a caution. It becomes a caution here because there's no time. Half the time I don't see it. I'm on it before I realize that there was even anything to react to, and it's that's just a mess. Bristol is its own beast.
And a lot of the times it's just that target fixation of the person behind you. People talk about Talladega and Daytona where you see a wreck and you check up. I think here it's way worse. You see something half a racetrack in front of you and the person behind you is just kind of like focusing on your back bumper and they just run you over.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way of putting that, is target fixation. Especially if you have, like food or something on the TV panel of your car. I'm going to stare at that. I mean, just is what it is there. Got the Brugg. Well, it's still... Well, and that's... we were talking about tire wear before we hit the air. I actually forgot to say this, so we'll just bring this up here. As the track starts to rubber in, generally it's going to be on the low side. And like we were talking about in real life, some of these tracks that want to run the high side, but it seems like it burns the tires a little more, especially the right front. Could that just be a byproduct with iRacing of more people running the bottom side? If everybody moved up, could that possibly be the preferred lane of not having as much tire wear?
I really don't think so. I think it's more of an issue of just like scrubbing that right front. And I think when you're running the high side, regardless, you're scrubbing that right front more than you would at the bottom. And if you can run that bottom really, really well, you can put minimal amounts of wear. But that is going to cost you pace in the short term trying to do that. So.
That is fair enough. Of course, with Bristol, there's just nowhere safe. Everywhere you're in danger. If you're a slow car, you're going to get hit. If you're a fast car, you're going to get hit. Like we just took a ride into the wall there. Oh, man. We just rode on board with Rafter, and I think we all probably just got a concussion.
And something to note here, the main difference between this and like the Xfinity car is when you crash in these and you crash hard, you lose your wheels. So you can't just ride around and hope for a quick caution to kind of, fix that damage. You most likely will just need a tow and get that damage fixed immediately. So that's the real painful thing with these when it comes to damage. Yeah,
and tow time generally going to be a minute to 2 minutes. 15-second laps, which, I mean, they're going to be under caution, but, I mean, you're going to run several laps down, even under yellow, even just getting towed in. Speaking of, we are, I don't know why towing made me think of this. We're running one pit road, so the entry is right there where Skylar is, off of turn 2, is where they'd have to start. They're going to have to run all the way down the backstretch, all the way through turn 3 and 4 here, and then all the way back up the front stretch to their pit stall. Then they will exit pit road here in turn 1.
And that's a decision that's kind of one of these hard things for a league to make, because you never know how many people might show up to a race. And if you have over 23 people here, the 24th person's really going to get screwed when it comes to pit stops, especially under yellow. So doing that single pit road thing is kind of a unfortunate thing for green flag pit stops, but it should be good for fairness with everything else.
Absolutely. While they get ready here for qualifying, we're going to pop over here to the week 4 points. This is after 4 weeks, of course. We have got Roy, hide your trophies, hide your prize money, because I'm coming for all of it, leading the way with 149 points. Oliver Turan running second, 10 points behind. Rafter kind of conveniently is right behind Oliver. Give everybody a second, just let that sink in of why I would have said that. Al's looking to punt Oliver out of second place. Jason Benson is in fourth. Sid Kishishian is in fifth. John Nodge Crutchley is in sixth. Dustin Barton, seventh. Rob Hottenbach is in eighth. Johnny Brugg is ninth, tied with Joe David at 101. John Barton sitting there in 11th. Mike Corriveau in 12th. Nick Biddy 13th. Tyler Merritt is 14th. James Lawson in 15th. Kenny Sutherland 16th. Christopher Harrison 17th. Josh Kerner 18th. Nicholas Vignone 19th. And Kevin Hansen rounding out the top 20 of points in the No Toad Racing League ARCA Monday Night Series. We have got event number 5 before you at the last great Coliseum, Bristol, Tennessee.
So before you cheat here and look at the qualifying order, who are you picking for the race?
I've got live timing. I can see who's ran laps already. Now, they're actually still running. Nobody's actually posted a lap yet. Man, it's such a crapshoot. It's hard to go against Skyler, but and Rafter specifically told me not to, so I can't pick him. It's going to be Brugg and Skyler. It's just so whichever one of them you don't want, I'll take the other. I mean, it's just going to come down to something like that.
Well, how about we omit those two and we'll just focus on everyone else?
If that's the case, I really think just because of his patience and ability to generally avoid trouble, I would say Rafter. But again, he told me not to. And the next one to me there, he's got a ton of speed, is Roy Hyde. I mean, like I said last week, until proven that you can beat him, you keep picking him to win.
Well, I was going to pick Oliver Turin, but unfortunately, it looks like he's having some sort of connection issue. Because he's connecting, disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting. So I guess I'll go with Al Corey, because Al's patient. He'll be able to save some fuel here. That won't be super important for this race, but you'll be able to just kind of keep the car under him and finish while some other people might be going hard.
Yeah, I'm absolutely serious. From the practice race, Jason Benson may very well end up in the mix for this. And from, any of the top 10. You know how this place is. These are not the Xfinity cars that like to bounce off a wall and keep going. These are the high-maintenance females that are just temperamental. They hit the wall. They stick to the wall. Bristol in particular, actually, they hit the wall. That right side has been known to climb the fence, and you're dragging the left side on the pavement trying to make a lap.
Yeah, and something that happened in the practice race is some idiot just missed pit road and just smashed into the barrels, and I don't know who that is, so we shouldn't call him out. But yeah, that's another thing to look out for, is just his pit entrance. If you back it up in the middle of the corner too soon, someone could run over you. Or if you overcharge the entrance and you hit the barrels, that could be either a race-ending deal or you could cause a caution. So it's a real tricky situation here. But that's if we make it to a green flag pit stop.
And that's absolutely a big if. We also get the guy doing this so he can talk and click at the same time. I want to talk about the no-toad rookies here. The top 10, the top 5 have been around at least a couple or 3 seasons. Carnes has been in and out a few more than that, I believe. I think he's on 5 or 6, I think. I cannot believe I can't remember that. Of course, Al Corey, original OG. But if you look, and the tower is having some sort of issue with Corriveau and Dustin Barton. Not real sure why it's trying to put them together, but they're NTRL rookies, which is kind of weird. But here's the top 12 starters. Skylar Carnes with a 14.837 sitting on the pole. Johnny Brugg, 1400s behind him, which I did not expect to see that kind of gap. And the Nodge, John Crutchley starting third, Jason Benson, the aforementioned, starting fourth, Rafter starting in fifth, Roy Hyde, I just about popped off Micah Hyde. I'd seen him on the highlight reel, and he was anyway. Rob Hottenbach in sixth, Mike Corvu eighth, Dustin Barton in ninth, Joe David in Florida. Bet it's warm there. Trying to tell us we're going to get like a foot of snow, and we ain't having that. He's starting 10th, Mr. Kerner and Mr. Lawson rounding out row 6. The 7th row, by the way, will be Oliver Tran if he is able to get on there, and Harrison, Tyler Merritt, then Kyle. I mean, if he's gonna talk from the wheel, he's starting 16th, and starting shotgun on the field will be Alex Goff.
Yeah, I don't think I'd show up for one of these. These ARCA cars are fun and all, but they can be very temperamental, and I like being up here and not inside of one of them. So
I am most of the time when I'm watching these, I think, boy, you know, these guys give me a bunch of static about being retired. Isn't all that bad? Because these cars are just kind of ill, and really, I do feel that this is probably one of the better tracks as far as the ARCA car in particular. I think it does show. I don't know, it just shows that car seems like it, you know, really digs in the track and actually turns, where, you know, the trucks and the Xfinity cars really do kind of seem to have a struggle all the way around.
well, these things really hook up, but it's just the second they don't, it's just you get that snap, and then you got to save it, and if you don't save it quick enough, you're overcorrect into the wall and you cause a huge accident. And with the damage model they've got, you know, you've got some spectacular spectacle that you've just created with that overcorrection.
Oh yeah, yep. And it doesn't take much. It's so little that really just, I don't know. It just doesn't take anything at all. We're matriculating around here. Coming in, we're going to have, next time by, we should be seeing green. And the ticker, for some odd reason, is counting that parade lap. But we got 180 circuits around here, 3 sets of tires. We can do 100 laps on fuel, so there will be strategies. There's going to be people who come in. There's going to be people who, you know, somebody's going to try and one-stop it, and that may very well be Rafter. But we're going to be coming to the green here. Pace car should be pulling down into the pits. I think it just left rubber. Green flag, rolling at Bristol. And Carnes is going to take off. Who got that Hyde way up on the right high side there? Is that Hottenbach?
That would be Roy Hyde, it looks like, in the 305.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, he didn't listen to us at all about the high side.
Well, the high side's good for making passes, but the second you make them, you kind of have to drop down a little bit. But, oh, we got Dustin Barton in the wall.
Trying to get that to go back to him, and it just decided that, no, it wasn't going to. Let's see if we can just focus in on him. Look like he just, yeah, so he just got a little, oh, yep, and same thing. Car goes up in the wall, gets stuck to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that little oversteery bit. You get it, you start having it step out, and then you try to overcorrect, and you're way too high for you to catch it. So that's an unfortunate deal there for Dustin.
Yeah, it is. It very much is. Rockstar Energy riding on with Robert Hottenbach this week. The man's got a definite paint scheme. What was that they used to use back in the day? Savoir faire? I have no idea what that means. So if I just said something, you know, bad, I really don't know. but he really picks out some good-looking paint schemes. I got to give him that.
Unfortunately, Dustin Barton has left the race.
He had actually said that before, that kind of depended on how things were going. It was going to depend on how much or how little of him we saw, and that's kind of a lumpy start. So I don't know that I blame him. You definitely don't want to be riding around the whole race wounded at Bristol.
No, and I mean, at least from his perspective, kind of getting that early, that early damage there, and he looked like he was going to get an illegal pit entry anyways. He would have been multiple laps down. So, yeah, unfortunate for Dustin. I'd like to bring up a slight detail change for the 002 of Oliver Turin. He's switched his number font on his Miller High Life car, and it really suits the look of his car, and I really like it.
That, oddly enough, just happened to be who we were riding along with. We're doing some gyro cam with him. Getting a look at the 33 degrees of banking. 33, 36, 38. It's every week, it seems like, for some reason, it's different. It's kind of got a more old school looking font on there. I can dig that. It's groovy.
Yeah, that was one of the preliminary fonts I was looking at for running on my 87 car. So, these little details are kind of everything I really like about these paint schemes that everyone runs.
Yep. Well, of course, one of the standards on iRacing is He Is Dead Jim. That one has been around. Man, that one's been around. That, I'm sure that, oh, God, I want to say the Budweiser 11 and 12 was using it. I think Wood Brothers have used it. It's been on a lot of cars. Stumbled across that and saw it, and I was like, well, that's a familiar-looking number. And then started doing some Googling on it, and one thing led to another, and I had spent like an hour reading stuff that of everything I read would have like a sentence about a number on the side of a car. Not a ton of information. That's one thing the internet doesn't seem to have, is like a font history for NASCAR race cars.
Yeah, I was looking up like Roush Fenway, trying to find like a font for their old 16 car, and yeah, it's just a lot of these teams, specifically like Roush, they just every individual car kind of like make a new font, which is kind of an interesting deal. It's not like Hendrick, where they've got that font that they kind of use over and over and over again.
Yeah, and was it Biffle, the 16 that was kind of jagged, almost looked like lightning bolts turned into numbers?
Yeah, the 16 and the 6 had it for a little bit. Oh, we got an accident on the front stretch.
Well, that was inconvenient.
I don't know if we've ever gone over this on the broadcast, but Oliver Turin, when choosing his number, had a specific line about his number choice. 0 number 1 in the 002 is 0 skill. Second 0 is 0 brains, and the last 2 are symbolized by 2 basketballs.
That is what that is. I did a quick touch on that, and thought better of it. So let's try. I'm going to try this guy again. It's showing Al Corey crashed under caution, so we'll look for that. We're going to ride along here. Get underneath. Nothing there. Oh, Oliver hit the wall. Alright, so the 002 hit the wall and bounced back down into corner. Let's see, where is... Now it's showing he is crashed, so let's jump back live here. And then we'll jump in here and see why it's showing Turin crashed. Turin. He's coming up and around. And He's just running slow. So nothing there. Let's try to see what we got with Al Corey. Live scoring and timing is also trying to tell us that Raptor has crashed under caution. I don't see anything to support that. Roy Hyde's behind him, so don't think we're looking at... Huh, okay, well, so we're going to be going without that one. Alright, so first caution break. Lap 23 of 180. Actually, Oliver Turan just jumped to the pits. So is he having connection issues, and did that have anything to do with him bouncing off the wall?
He's currently been talking about, he's had some sort of a brake issue. He was trying to get some numbers on what he should be running for a load cell brake pedal. So potentially he's got some brake issues going on here, and maybe pedal issues in general.
He said he's okay with dropping in here. Oliver, you're on broadcast. Can we steal you for a second?
Yeah, by all means, man. Yeah.
Hey, how'd it sure looked like from replay, maybe caught a little bit of the wall and kind of bounced back down. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, so I had a bunch of hardware issues coming into the race, and I literally got my clutch to be at 0%, so but I had to qualify with half 50% clutch. My wheel was all messed up, brake was all messed up. I was a mess out there. I apologize to whoever I got into.
Well, that's kind of been the theme of the week.
Yeah, I just towed to try and get some of my hardware stuff set up. So
okay, and that's
I thought I had it squared away, but yeah.
Well, all right, so you're gonna run it through and let it do a fast repair and get back out there.
No need to take the fast repair. Literally, it was just a hardware change. I got to get my brake set up, and yeah, just horrendous setups.
Right on.
I'll be a couple laps down here. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, we'll send you back, man. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
All right. I very much appreciate that we've got some of these guys that will let us, jump on them immediately and be like, hey, what just happened? Because they would probably just get sarcastic comments from me. We got the restart. And tell me if you heard this one enough, but Carnes and Brugg are leaving everybody else behind.
Yeah, and you remember the last time we were here with them, they finished 1 and 2 across the line sideways like AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric.
And that is kind of looks like where we might be heading again. Right along
hey,
here.
It's no fun having one. We need to have both of them, so you have a good show.
Yeah, at least this way we've got a fight for the lead, because we've run about 4 laps now. We're already a second and a quarter out from third place Hottenbach, and don't really seem to show a whole lot of signs of slowing this down.
Well, the important thing here to realize is that you've got Skyler and you've got Brugg running 1 and 2, and they're racing themselves. They're worrying about one another. You got to, if you're the third, fourth, fifth place guy, you need to kind of get in a group here and kind of focus on saving the tires, because you don't know if this thing's going to go green. We went 20 or so laps into this race without any caution, and that's highly irregular for anybody that's run any official series of cautions. So.
Yep, the No-Toad Racing League is long lauded as being probably the cleanest group of racers that there is in the sim. Caution count-wise, a lot of times we will run a race with no or 1 caution. You never see it. Everybody else kind of has iRacing as a part racing sim, part Wreckfest substitute. There comes Oliver Hyde back out. Or Oliver Turan, my bad. Johnny's creeping in here on the back bumper of Skyler. We're riding around on the back bumper here watching him just ever so closely creeping in. Is he going to make a move, or is he just trying to speed Tyler up, or speed Skyler up a little bit to see if he can get him to make a mistake?
I'm wondering almost if it's Skyler kind of backing up, trying to save his tires, because, if Brugg gets in front, you're in control. You're putting that other person into a situation where they have to do something to get by you. So these two are, good enough to, make a run at Road to Pro. I think that's what they're aiming at trying to do this year, but Yeah, they I don't know, they're running their own battle here, and you know, if you're out front, I think you're the person that's in control. You know, you're the person that's putting the chess pieces down, and you know, you're running the you know, you're running all the dials and switches to kind of get the result you want. So.
Yep, absolutely. I pop up the map. The leaders are literally a full straightaway ahead already. They are entering the next corner as the whole rest of the group is coming out of the previous corner. It's going to be a long night for everybody else, provided, in which they are, but you know, provided Skylar and Johnny don't do something totally uncharacteristic and get to battling with each other and end up wrecking each other.
Interesting to note, Roy Hyde from the restart started 5th. He is now up to 3rd.
Yeah, I was actually just watching his dot that he was moving out ahead of everybody. And Roy is making way on the rest of the group. See what kind of time he's making up or losing here on. He's got out to a 1.6 second lead over Rob and Al Corey, and he's still 3 3/4 seconds behind Brugg. But he's, I guess he's not losing time as fast as everybody else. He's basically holding to about a 1/10 a lap, which everybody else was losing about 1/4 second a lap.
Interesting to note here for Oliver Turin, if you see him kind of coming back up through the field, he's 12 laps down. He's on fresh tires, so this will be interesting to see the difference just 20 laps makes on fresh tires here.
Yes, it will. Here we go. Popped around here. There's Rob Hottenbach and Jason Benson, who is running in 6th now after that pass. Got the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Machine. And James Lawson. Boy, that's just a bad feeling. 20 laps after a green, and you got the leaders rolling around you like that. Joseph David. Of course, Oliver's laps down. Lawson. Michael Koravu will be next. He's just exiting turn 2 here, so got a little bit of a gap yet, but Skylar and Johnny are just plugging away, just setting them up and knocking them down. You hear the scrapes of the wall from the ARCA cars. It's just like their siren call. You hear squeaks and pops and bangs all over the place.
Yeah, one of the things here with running, you know, with 2 guys kind of just rolling, you know, you got to be really, really careful here if you're in the back end of the pack. You know, if you're saving, you got to kind of focus on, like, maintaining your pace, you know, between tire management and then just kind of going and trying to stay on the lead lap. Because if you get caught a lap down here, that could be a death sentence. I think 1 lap, you know, maybe you can get a caution late in the race and you can get that back. But definitely if you go 2 laps down here, you're in a load of trouble.
Very much. I know this sounds stupid, and I can't think of a better way to say it, but it doesn't take a lot, or very little will make a lot of trouble here. I guess that may be the less clumsy way of saying it. That something real minor, and you know, any little thing that, you know, you make a trip to the pits that everybody else doesn't have to make, and you're pretty well done. You're not going to get a lot of cautions here, not with the no-toed group. I mean, it just doesn't happen. There was one real oddball race as Nodge is making his way here up to 6th around Benson. I don't remember what we had. I think it was 5 or 6 cautions, and we were all just, you know, stunned that we had that many. And, you know, then it dawned on us, 5 or 6 is really nothing. You know, you see 10, 12, 15, 20 of them, you know, in longer races on iRacing all the time.
Yeah, and part of the thing that's going to aid the ability for us to go green here for so long is just the field size. You know, we're running about currently now we're running about 14 cars on track. So you know we're gonna be able to have space. You know, when you're running 20, 30, 40 cars, you know that's when it starts getting real hairy with the difference in speed. But I think later on in the run, you're gonna see people kind of having that tire wear that's gonna creep up and hurt them, and you know occasionally some people are gonna get a meatball just from turning too much and you know wearing that tire out. So you know you got to focus you know, getting that car to last, but you need to be able to adjust your strategy and commit early to like a pit stop if you really need to, if your tires are wearing, because you can lose multiple seconds a lap here if your tires get too worn out, and then all of a sudden your one stop, even with that delta of just losing, you know, those multiple laps by pitting with this longer pit road, you know, it just nullifies its gains by doing so.
Absolutely. Watching Nodge and Hottenbach here fighting for fifth. And I tell you what, man, Nodge is all over him like a drunk prom date. There is just he was just all over him. Maybe got his tires a little warmed up now. He's set back behind him. Nope. We're gonna. Well, I thought we were gonna mount another run down the backstretch, but I mean they're side by side and just right over the top of each other, doing great work. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are holding themselves. You know, it's obviously a little scary to be on the hood of a car doing something like this at these kind of speeds in close quarters, but Nodge is doing a great job, and Hottenbach is, I mean, he's doing a pretty fair job himself. He's holding him off.
Well, look behind them. You can start playing the Jaws music. Behind Tyler Merritt, we've got the leader of Skylar Carnes.
Yep, I thought that was him back there. So this group is going to get real interesting real quick. We also have got the 69 of Kerner running with these guys. Of course, had some issue there, so getting a little loopy. 26 is going to pack them all up coming off of 4. Skylar is there. Skylar is going to want to try and find some way of getting through this, but they have got. This is just a pile.
Oh, Johnny breaking the wall.
Oh, and Tyler was too. Johnny doesn't look like he's slow, but there is a scuff on the side of that car.
Yeah, it looked like Johnny got in behind corner. He just kind of clipped him. His corner came up, and they both went in the wall.
Oh, and well, no. I am now showing, why it would be showing that. It's showing that Johnny's got a kind of a funky shaped wheel, and in the corner he's throwing sparks. So, of course, he's throwing sparks like a car width wider than where he's actually at. So that could be something on my end. We did have a little bit of a blink earlier too, so I apologize for that. We've got weather that's apparently kind of meandering its way in. I don't know. Don't know how close that is, if that's making any sort of effect on this or not. But. Oh, Brugg's in the wall again. So just enough to kind of set the car crazy there. There's that squeak. As we're looking here, Al Corey is the next one, and he's about 11.5 seconds back. The problem with that is Tyler's running 16.6 seconds, so he's within 5 seconds of being lapped. We are going to do something that I've always loved. We're going to do a crank it up. Start cranking it back down here softly. We're back on with Nodge. There we are, jumping up to Tyler Merritt. We're just bouncing around here, letting everybody kind of run and do their thing. Here's Johnny, who's right behind Nodge. Just maybe has a little bit of a wounded car, so he's just going to kind of ride it out. And see the map, we are just everywhere as far as where cars are.
Yeah, that initial contact he had with the wall, he actually got a meatball flag, and he was very confused as to why he had a meatball flag, because his car was driving perfectly fine. So I had a little powwow with the admins, and they allowed him to clear his black flag.
That is odd.
Yeah, it was just a quick little, 3-second, wall glue and meatball. So yeah, it just the minimal damage to the car. It just gave him a meatball. That was very very odd situation there for Johnny Brugg.
Yeah, I would say. We got Tyler Merritt hanging around up here in 6th place. He's running right behind Rob Hottenbach, who's running 5th, who is right behind Al Corey, who's running 4th. We're starting to see a pattern here, Kyle. And this pattern is the same guys are running really good here week after week.
Yeah, with Skyler, whenever he comes to Bristol, this is his home track. He left the series that he was originally supposed to do today to just come and do this because he just loves Bristol so much. So, anytime he's here, he is the car to beat. So, same with Johnny Brugg. Johnny Brugg, very, very good driver. You saw last weekend in Michigan, just absolutely whooped the field. And then Roy Hyde, newcomer to the series, but very, very good driver. Highly rated by Skyler Carnes. Yeah, just those three are going to be the hard chargers for the rest of the year.
Yep, they are definitely making a very high bar. And I mean, since Roy was just going past him, Oliver has been fantastic. I mean, he come in here and just kind of learning each other's habits. I mean, there was some adjustment there. But man, I mean, he jumped in and I don't remember what the first race was now. But we were. I think we broadcast that. Was there maybe a practice? Was there a practice Michigan race before the Atlanta race? I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a practice Michigan race, and I do remember it was Brugg, Hyde, and someone else. I think were running up front, but we had a rash of cautions at the end and kind of threw the strategy all over the place.
Yep. I think it was Turan. I think it was Oliver was in there with him.
Yeah, Oliver was in there too. I think Kino won that race, actually. I believe.
That you may be right there. That one, the one that Kino won, I do not think we broadcast. Because that was that may have been the next practice race, actually. But yeah, I mean, other than like the very, very first race, Oliver come in and just kind of trying to learn, some of our oddities, I think, more than anything. And once he learned that, I mean, he had a couple brushes with the wall in that first race, and I was kind of like, oh, well, we got somebody else in here that, we can compete with that'll actually make a mistake here and there. And nope, he quickly decided that he was not going to make mistakes, and he was just going to put a whooping on us instead. So Harrison's up 6 into 8th position. Here's James Lawson. He is running top 10. He's up 3 positions from where he started. Got some Alex Bowman ally with really bad vision or something. I don't know. He knows that car is crazy. Like the aliens from South Park that come in with the space cache. How they got like 2 eyes and 2 mouths. That's kind of what that hood reminds me of. Corner is running top 10. He's up a spot from where he started in 11th. The 69 Realtree Chevy. Go back. Joseph David is, well, he lost his spot, so him and Kerner can switch that thing around there. But he's running 11th in laps down. Then Michael Corvu, who is on pit road leaving for his service, and he is just shy of halfway. So that may very well be the guy who's trying to do this in one stop. Running behind him, the aforementioned Oliver Turan, who is more than likely streaming this. So once our broadcast is over, we can go back in there and find him and see what his stream is all about. Of course, he's a Twitch streamer. I don't know that he does the YouTube stream at all.
We got the 305 and the 47 on pit road, and the caution just came out.
Oh, ride down the pit road. Oh, we left Oroville. Come out on cold tires and looped it, I bet. Catches the flat. Doesn't look like anything's
Yeah, it
wrong
looks
there.
like he was starting to rotate before that.
Yep, loose going in. Well, at least there's no damage. Just a lazy little spin, so.
Unfortunately for him, that's going to really mess with him under strategy.
Oh, yeah, this is going to just murder his strategy. I mean, just stopping, and now everybody else is going to stop. I mean, yeah, nothing good is going to come of this. All right, so let's see if we can steal Roy. No, ARCA. Mr. Hyde, you're on the broadcast. How's the race going?
Not too horrible. A little bit of hiccups with people pitting in the wrong spots and stuff, but I think we're getting it ironed out.
Do you feel like you're on pit road for like a week and a half?
Yes, that it does. Very, very horribly.
I kind of figured. So it looks, even under caution, like we're using the spotter camera to be way high up, and oh man, it looks like you get out and walk and be there faster.
That's what it kind of feels like, but everybody's got to go through the same thing, so I guess it's not that big of a hindrance. You just kind of make sure that you know where to enter and exit it, and do everything that you need to do to make it on there safely and not get any flags.
All right. So, knowing some of these guys apparently listen while they're racing, you want to give me some fake strategy of what you're planning on doing? Wink, wink, and then we'll throw off the field.
Well, we won't do a wink, wink. But it's just basically Skyler looks like he's got the fast lap locked up, and he's probably going to get the most laps led locked up. So and I know he's not running for points, so I don't think that's going to hurt us too bad. As long as I keep holding where I've been at, top 3, top 4, I should be good on points. So just racing the track and not trying to overdo it and do something and find myself in a bad situation.
It's Bristol. It's pretty easy to find bad situations on this track usually, but you're new into the No Toad Racing League. What do you think about overall a really clean Bristol race, albeit with a somewhat short field?
Oh, it's definitely clean. I mean, a lot of guys are giving and taking, and I see whenever guys are passing them and they're talking in the field, which is really good. So yeah, that's a lot.
Right on. All right, man. Well, we'll send you back from where you came from so you can get ready for the next green.
10-4. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks, Roy.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Ollie, I'm gonna pop you back over here to Oliver. Oliver, if you watch him here, he's on Twitch. He's Ollie the Mongol, believe it or not. So get a pen and paper out because that's what you kids are using. It's twitch.tv/OLITHE. That would be Ollie and the put together. Mongol, MONGOL. You can watch his streams and, YouTube-wise, I can't use the colorful vocabulary that I was born with. Oliver might be. Who knows? He may be just saying random bad words because it's just something fun to do. Speaking of fun things to do as we go back to green, leading the race, Skylar Carnes taking off from the group again. We'll get this map up. It's still not fast enough. See how fast. Oh, we're back under caution. What do we got going on here? Rob Hottenbach has crashed. Well, that is cautions breeding cautions. Let's see what we got here.
Oh no! Unfortunately for John Crutchley, Crutchley happened to be entering the corner as a caution was come out, and he spun. Didn't cost him anything, but that's some extra tire wear that he didn't need.
Oh, Benson, man! Benson just probably had the save of the night right there of his front end. Let's come up under the gears. We're going to ride on here with Jason Benson. Coming in, we're going to watch the Coors car, and then Rob here in the Rockstar right behind him. Going to hook the 83. Problems! Yeep! Oh, man, oh, man. Nice work, Benson. Nice. Those sticky tires really helped you slow down. And so now we're getting I'm sure, false that Skyler has crashed. Yeah, I think Skyler ain't crashing. I think Skyler could do this in his sleep.
Interesting to note here for Skyler is that when that caution came out last time by, he managed to stay on the lead lap while being on pit road.
Well, when you got a 19-lap lead, that's going to happen. 20-lap lead. Speaking of, the Nodge is coming back up and around. Harrison in the 83 being 1 lap down, being the recipient of that loop-de-loop. He should be our lucky dog. Whoa, does iRacing know to catch you if you were the one that made the caution and not give you the lucky dog?
Yes, they do. If you have any X's during that, you lose your right to, even if it's a 0X, you lose your right to a lucky dog.
Well, so we should be lucky dogless for this one. So we're over halfway, and Carnes, Brugg, Corey, Hyde, Hottenbach, none of them are a surprise. Crutchley, honestly, is not a surprise. Nodge has been getting faster and faster. He really has, just week in, week out. Nodge really does he improves every race. And, he's showing it. Harrison coming back out of the nether regions to pop back in running 7th is pretty impressive, too. Then we got Kerner's down 2 laps, Lawson's down 2 laps, Benson's down 3, David's down 6, Corvu's down 7. Ollie, he's 14 down, so I'd say that Twitch stream is probably full of colorful language, or if you're familiar with SpongeBob, it's going to sound like a bunch of dolphin calls. I seriously wish I could make that sound.
Funny enough, about Ollie, when we were doing the 24 hours together, he kept mentioning that he doesn't swear on stream, so it won't sound like colorful language, but it'll sound like a kid coming up with words that's aren't really cuss words, but they can get by with saying them in the household.
Oh yeah, yep. I kind of do that here because I'm just full of colorful language, and I like to make new words with bad words put into other words. So I have learned to not do that. So we're gonna come around here. We got roughly a half lap to go till we let them loose one more time for some Monday Night ARCA at Bristol Motor Speedway. Pace car's off. Yep, pace car's leaving tire. That's pretty sweet. Green flag. We're off. Skyler and Brugg, who have been up front the entire race, taking off and trying to leave Roy Hyde in the dust. Roy is saying not having it, though. Roy's actually got a real good run there. Gets around Al Corey for, nothing. He was just shot out of a cannon.
Oh, James Lawson had a little bit of a loose moment there, but he caught it.
Harrison has hit pit lane. Watch Raptor run a couple of rounds around. Yeah, boy, it's Hottenbach's rear end's kind of wonky. Get back on that. I want to see the back of his car. 69 probably isn't quite close enough. Yeah, you got some wrinkle going on it. That right here caught the wall hard enough to damage it a little bit. The numbers and stuff don't look screwed up, but the right rear quarter is definitely damage on that car.
Sounds like Harrison pitted because he was involved in that last accident. He was just seeing what the damage was, and it was a little too much for him to handle, so he just pulled it in to get the damage repaired.
Well, that's... it is showing him as out right now. So he's back out after like a minute on pit lane, which is 4 laps here plus the time of getting around. So that will probably pretty well end his night. They're just showing him dropping into a 5th lap down. The scoring tower is kind of looking like the 24 hours at Daytona. It's how many laps down you're going to be versus the leader.
Yeah, no fast repairs though, so that's the unfortunate part. You get 28 minutes of damage. You got to wait 28 minutes for the car to come back.
Well, after the video I posted from our 2.4 hours at Daytona, I pretty much would have spent most of my 24 hours behind the wall.
Well, I think your bigger problem would have been that you were in a Kia and not a GT3 or an LMP.
Well, I may have been in a lowercase car, but I hit like a capital letter. So as of right this second, your leader in the 1, Johnny Brugg. Running about a quarter second behind him is Mr. Carnes. You almost wonder if Johnny didn't just call him up. He's like, dude, you ain't running for points. Let me get up there. And Skyler's like, whatever, I do what I want. But then decided he was going to let him go anyway. Actually, Skyler looks a little loose. That looks a little kind of cockeyed. Right on board with him.
I'm wondering if Skyler is sitting on older tires here, because I don't think he pit under that last caution, and he got caught under pit road when that original caution came out. So I wonder if there's some sort of tire difference between Skyler and Brugg.
That may very well be. He is he's definitely working that wheel back to the right, even on entry. But I'd say it's I'd say it's loose, just based on what we can see there. Jump out on here and following Johnny, and nothing but clear blue skies and track behind him. I mean, it must not really be affecting him too much. I mean, he is still right on Brugg's bumper. So, I mean, it's not like it's, some great issue. Then check back here. Running third is Roy Hyde. And, man, it's the same thing. 3 seconds back from Brugg and Carnes. He's got about a second on Al. And
oh, we got problems. We got problems with Johnny Brugg.
They got caught behind the... Oh, he got turned into the wall by Skyler. Oh, who gave it back. Brugg gets checked up. Skyler comes up, left rears him. Puts him in there. They have got such a big lead that even though that right front's all Wahlberg jockeyed up.
Yeah, Skyler came over the radio and apologized, said he just had that shot out of a cannon kind of run, and he was trying to go to the inside and just tagged him, but he let him by.
Yeah, well, and Johnny was absolutely out of the gas. I mean, he had a car in front of him he was going to hit, so that to borrow Dennis Hamlin's line, that is just short track racing. So on, good.
Johnny's got a steering damage. He says his wheel's not straight.
Jump back in there. Oh yeah, he's definitely to the right going down the straightaway. I mean, it's not terrible, but considering what the wheel's usually at, he's probably 10-15 degrees to the right that he didn't used to be.
Yeah, and that's something that's a lot bigger deal than people think it is where you're turning, you're used to turning to a certain degree, but when you lose that frame of reference on where you need to be turning to, you could be over wearing the tire, or you could be over slowing and trying to get that car to rotate. So that's something you kind of have to adapt to, and hopefully you don't adapt to it in the wrong way.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll do a flip through the field here, and as you see, Johnny Brugg's up the top of the oval here. He's got a green ring around him. I don't know that I've actually seen that explained. So Johnny's going to come around here on the start-finish line. He's got a green ring. This is going to show you who we're riding on board with. So like now when I jump back to Skyler, you're going to see that the 47 now has that green ring. Just a point of reference for you guys. Skyler's honestly turning right almost as far as Johnny is.
I'm wondering if there's like some sort of graphical thing where it'll show up for you, or it won't show up for you, but it'll show up for him.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It could be, and it could be maybe an anti-cheating type of thing. You know, so somebody's not watching a broadcast. Racers, they're going to do anything they can. But we'll jump back on here with Roy Hyde, and yeah, there again, his wheel looks pretty similar. He's trying up on the high side here. He's still a couple seconds back. You know, he pretty well said kind of the night is what it is. He's just looking to get a good points night out of it. Behind him here, just a hair touching the wall, is Rafter. It's Al Corey. We can see the 305. Still, he's got about a second and almost a tenth over him. We'll see how this works out as we get these last 40 laps ran out. We're running in fifth, Rob Hottenbach with the snazzy paint scheme. We've got the driver suit to match. Got a super bright yellow suit. The man can coordinate, if nothing else. Now he can drive pretty good too, running top 5. We're running on here with the Nodge. Nodge is cruising around here in 6th. And
Skyler and Brugg are getting kind of close here. Skyler's starting to migrate up kind of middle high groove, and he's getting a really, really good run down the straightaways.
Jump up on the top of him, watch him stalk Johnny. Using Johnny Rocket stalking. Oh, and I think that's where we had the issue last time, was with the 83 car coming up to lap him, and everybody got kind of wadded up, so this might get a little crazy.
Yeah, the issue the first time around was just they caught him at the wrong spot. He was kind of holding bottom, and just was perfectly in the wrong place. Nothing Johnny could really do differently, or same for the 83, so just one of those unfortunate deals.
Yep, well, and that goes to where beginning of the race. It's Bristol, it's just a small, tight track. Everything happens fast. There's no room to escape. This is its own little kind of special sort of, it's just its own special short track hell, really. It has a pronounced set of very...
So we got James Lawson in the wall. He's recovered.
He's running 8th. Need James to keep on rolling there.
All things considered, I mean, we're still sitting pretty tight up here in the front. You know, any sort of immediate fall off that these guys are going to get out front, you know, that could really, really bring, you know, Roy Hyde, Al Corey into the mix. And then if there's any sort of contact or something that doesn't bring on a caution, you know, Hottenbach and Crutchley are still sitting on the lead lap.
Yeah, they're well within pouncing distance. Nodge is getting close for him. He's definitely going to need to watch it.
Yeah, one of the things is if you go a lap down, you either, well, in his case, you know, if he goes a lap down here, he's going to be the only car at lead lap. So as long as he doesn't cause the caution, you know, he should be easily back on the lead lap.
We're riding on here with the Nodge, who is running 6th. And that is your distance. Almost one of the straightaways. That is just not a lot of room. He's 1.9 seconds ahead. Skyler's up high again on Brugg. Oh, and then doing a crossover down to the bottom. He gets that run. He's there. And he's into Brugg. Oh, boy. Brugg's car looks like it's been at a short track. I will give it...
Yeah, they're going to give it back.
I wish I had a big enough lead I could just give it back if I rough the guy up.
Yeah, those two, they're very respectful. You know, they race with each other a lot, so they know when they screw up. They're very honest with each other. So in those situations, you know, giving up the spot, you know, is more important than the result. So yeah, I mean, we're sitting here with, you know, 19 laps left. Math.
I got like 28.
29. Okay, so we're sitting here about like 28, 27 laps left, and yeah, I mean, this is going to get real interesting here if a caution comes out, because everyone should have some sets left here. So, you know, caution are late here, and we just got like a good scrap here to the end.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see what new tires do. Oliver's just up there kind of hanging with, almost pestering the front runners.
Yeah, and he's 18 laps down, so he's in that awkward situation where you have the pace, but you kind of don't want to get involved, because at the end of the day, you are 18 laps down.
Yep. And we see Nodge moves over and just goes on ahead and gives up that lap, which, I mean, just the respect the No Toad Racing League has. That's just what you do. You just go ahead and let them on by. Skyler's coming on the high side, running up and around the high side off of 2 on Brugg. Brugg's coming up. They are close. Down into 3 they go. Skyler's rubbing the wall up high. They're side by side at the line. That is Skyler by a car. Brugg is not going to take this. He's going to go ahead and run up in the left rear quarter and just see what happens. And the upper line has prevailed, Kyle. Oh.
Yeah, that high line really, really works, but it's one of those things where you can't do it for too long. You know, you could probably do it here for the final 20 or so laps if you save your tires, but if you're just constantly bombing that lane, you're just going to tear your tires up here. So as Skyler clears and blinks out a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, you saw that too, huh? Well,
Johnny's
running. Yep. Well, Oliver backs out to let Johnny keep his spot. And that gives Carnes over a second lead, but it is dropping back down. I wonder if Skyler's just going to go ahead and kind of just hold steady here and hold Brugg about a second behind him. Still got Hyde running in third, 3 seconds back, just kind of doing his thing. Another second back there is Al still running there. Rob's still running in fifth. He's also a lap down, so right now we're down to 4 cars on the lead lap. We got Nodge is in 6th. Kerner is in 7th. Benson running 8th. Lawson running 9th. When you get people multiple laps down, you'll be moving forward and backwards on the track, but the scoring is correct by the laps. Harrison running here. He's top 10, 7 laps down. Looks like I popped the wall pretty good. Corvu up here is running in 11th. And David is pulling her into the pits. Oliver running down here in 13th.
Oh, Johnny's got like second life here.
Under a 10th to go.
Gotta wonder, man, if Skyler's kind of heating up those right sides, potentially wearing them out too much, or if, you know, he made a mistake or something. This would be really interesting to watch for this final 14-lap run.
26 coming back out, doing a pit stop. Well, the roles have reversed. Skyler's running down. Johnny's come up the hill. I really do like that paint scheme on Skylar's car. Just bunch of color on that black. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of the K on that reminds me of an old video game.
Yeah, it's a design made by his brother Trey, so it's a Trey Carnes design special.
Well, his K kind of looks like the K from Killer Instinct. It was a old arcade game. I tell you, the one thing with Bristol that I won't miss is hearing people bounce off the wall every single lap. It's just been nonstop.
Yeah, this is the one track where it's really, really bad with the prediction code. People kind of get close to the wall. They're kind of cutting those last couple inches, and then iRacing thinks you hit it. So you'll kind of hear that, or see people hit the wall in front of you when they really didn't hit the wall. So, yeah, we got a, still close battle up front here. It's not over yet.
We're gonna widen back out a little. It's dropped back out some. We've dropped back out here at about 3/10. Brugg running back behind Skylar. I mean, they're still within camera shot. With Skylar running high, he lost almost a quarter second just right there, just 1 and 2. He's got a quarter second on him now, so he does that again. Well, he holds still. You know what? The high side on 3 and 4 was fast. 1 and 2, he was considerably slower. Well, Johnny's going to the middle in 1 and 2, and Skylar's going to the bottom, and Skylar's faster.
Yeah, and then you got to remember here, lap traffic as well.
Yep. Well, they both definitely are wandering around trying to find a lane. It just really looks like they're trying to figure out, who needs to go high, who needs to go low. What's working at, which end of the track do I need to be doing this, that, or the other.
Yeah, the most important thing here for Brugg, is he got a really, really good run there. He's going to get on the inside and kind of force Skylar's hand to just run the high line here.
That might be the smartest thing. Make Skylar go high and get the tires hot, and just, basically render him without any sort of defense. But so we excluded Carnes and Brugg, and my guy's running third. So, I mean, so far so good, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm running fourth.
Al's running fourth. Oh, yeah, the usual suspects. Rafter makes the graphics for the broadcast. We might have to have him make me, we need some sort of, see-through thing we can put up over the screen here of, these 4 or 5 guys that we're constantly seeing up top as the usual suspects overlay. I'm sure he can make me that. I'm sure me just talking about it, he'll flip through the broadcast and tell me to stop trying to ask for things like this over the broadcast. But we got 2 to go.
Brugg making a good run back here.
Yes, he is. Carnes is kind of laying back to him. You just kind of have to wonder if that isn't just simply to cool off the tires. I mean, he's run high, he's run low. He's got Brugg all over him. Surely the car is beat. The tires are hot. Coming around through, 47 of Carnes is showing as the race winner.
Yeah, that was a really, really good fight back by Johnny Brugg. When he got past there, you kind of were thinking, it's over, but nope, just kind of tearing back that gap there at the end.
Yep, absolutely, and it's not even. It's. Skylar wins Bristol. I mean, the sky is blue, water's wet. I mean, it's just kind of what you're used to. So I'm sure that even with the back and forth of Brugg, I'm sure he's still plenty happy about this and kind of pumped up. Probably gonna get some burnouts. There we go.
Well, you talk about Skylar being good here. It's like you cannot discount Johnny. It seems like every time you hear, man, they're at least matched, to where it's a good fight. And Johnny specifically here tonight, and last time we were here in the ARCA cars, those two were all over each other here. So it's kind of like Martin Truex and Chase Elliott at the road courses, they're going to be there. Who's going to be the one to join them?
Absolutely. We're riding on board for the donuts. Because why wouldn't we? I mean, we'll try and make everybody watching at home sick. Honestly, it kind of made me a little dizzy, and this is on my second smaller monitor. So Skylar Carnes is your winner for Monday Night ARCA, the No Toad Racing League. 180 beating, banging, probably some yelling, maybe a little bit of cussing. Oh, I thought I was gonna burn them down some more. We're gonna get the old Alan Kowicki Polish victory lap here. Let's see. I think all that I've got the third place finisher, Mr. Roy Hyde. So we're gonna grab him and we're gonna pull Roy in over here to the broadcast. So Roy, how's third for you for tonight?
Third was pretty good, pretty solid. I mean, I think that's about where I was with the car wise, and so yeah, I'll take it. I'm happy with it.
He run a really good race. The main issue was we're pretty sure Skylar may actually have an apartment at Bristol. I think he lives there.
Yeah, that's what we talked about right there in practice. I asked him where he was, and he said he was only about a half hour away.
Yep, he is right on top of it. So, that's, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You were my pick again tonight. I've said, I'm going to keep picking you until you can prove that you're beatable. Skylar winning at Bristol, though, that really doesn't tell me anything. So I'm probably picking you again next week, too, just so you know.
That's perfectly fine with me. Makes it exciting. Every once in a while, it works out for the best. But, it was a really good race. Like I said, I probably didn't have anything better than P3 for car-wise. Skylar and Brugg, they were in their own zone until I'm not sure what happened, but Brugg, I know, picked up some damage, and I know that started affecting his lap times. But even with that, I still couldn't run him down.
Hey, you're sitting 3.5 seconds behind them. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's not too horrible. It's 3.5 seconds, but been a lot better if it would have been closer. At least made it exciting for you guys up there.
Oh, it was an exciting race. You guys put on another good show.
Oh, we try to. I mean, a lot of guys out here, I mean, they know what they're doing, and they don't drive over their heads. And whenever somebody gets into a sketchy position, they actually got to keep a cool head about it. So it's pretty decent.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in once again. We appreciate you being a in-race reporter. That is awesome to be able to pull somebody out and talk to them as it's going. So I'll let you get back to it, man. We appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, guys. Absolutely. I enjoy doing it.
Thank you. That is your third place finisher, Roy. Hide your trophies, hide your money. I'm coming for all of it. And now we will be moving over to the Rocket himself, Johnny Brugg. How'd tonight go?
Had some up and downs. Definitely was a little bit of a magnet tonight. Overall, seems like me and Skyler are having some issues. It's kind of unfortunate there. I couldn't give him a better run at the end because I think our little incidents cost me a lot of tire wear from trying to save the car once I got sideways on both of those. So that wasn't too fun. Not very happy with him. I mean, he did give me the spots back, but he's not out here racing for points, and so I don't know. Not the happiest. I guess I'll take the technicality or win technically with the points. I don't know how that works yet, but good race by everybody else. It seemed like we had a lot of green flag racing. Very proud of that. I think it's Bristol. It's just hard racing.
Absolutely, and yeah, there was hard racing everywhere. It's every lap there was somebody bouncing off the wall. So I mean, yeah, it was a pretty hard fought battle all the way around. That's what I was going to ask you was you guys kind of rub it up and kind of giving that back. I wondered if that was a sort of a okay, hey, I screwed that up, or if that was just something that you guys had arranged that just maybe kind of went into it like, hey, if I get into you too hard or something, I'll go ahead and give it back. But then again, when you've got that kind of lead, you guys can do that.
Yeah, he knew he screwed up. So he gave me the position back. Like I said, that's class act. But at the same time, it kind of ruined the race we had going because when we're running that that pace, if you scrub your tires just a little bit, it takes the wear off, a couple percentages. And that when it happens twice, my tires get pretty bad, and it was just unfortunate. But me and Skylar have had tons of clean battles before, so take it and move past it. He was fast. It's his home track, I was just doing my best to try and put on the repeat from last year, stealing the show here. But yeah, good race.
All right, man. I appreciate it, and we're gonna find Skylar and drag him in. So I'll give you the bump, and then we'll see if we can dig Skylar up for a winner's interview.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Then let's move in this guy here, and then this one is your I don't know, got your Bristol beatdown champion, Skylar Carnes. How is this one tonight?
It's a Bristol win. I'm not too happy about it. With just the incidents with Brugg. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I had one hell of a run coming out and no reaction time, of course. It happened so fast. I tried to shoot it low and caught his left rear and sent him into the wall, so I felt really bad, and I gave him back the spot, and basically I said I was going to pass him clean, and I noticed he had tire wear, so I said I'm going to make it fun. I'm not going to sit and just drive away from him because his tires are dead, so I'm going to make it fun.
So is that what happened there at the tail end of the run there? Because I noticed that you caught up pretty quickly there at the end. Were you just kind of managing that gap and kind of trying to keep a little bit of time there, or were you just kind of going easy?
Like I said, I felt bad that I did that to Brugg, so I was giving up time and stuff to where he could still battle me, and we could try to battle and have a good finish. So that's what I was doing, because God, I felt terrible because normally him and I never have issues, and that happened. But I mean, to be fair, it's happened before at Michigan. He turned me in the pit lane on accident, and what I did tonight was on accident. It wasn't on purpose at all.
Yeah, he brought that up that he said that was class act, of you giving them the spot back, and that you guys had a billion clean battles now, and it sounds like disappointment on both sides. But I mean, it's Bristol, and earlier I popped off that this is kind of its own special sort of hell, and I mean that's kind of what happens with this place.
Oh yeah, especially because I mean they compare it to flying a fighter jet in a football stadium. That's how fast your reaction time has to be to make turns and all this, other things. That's what they say IRL. The reaction time has to be there, and if you go in the la-la land for half a second, you're probably going to be running into somebody or hitting the wall. You got to be dialed in, focused, and I just was focused on Brugg's back bumper and didn't really see him brake in time, and by that time I was trying to make it to where I had a hole when there wasn't one. And another good thing about this track is tempers flare easy, so hopefully everybody will be calmed down after this and Bristol's out of the way. But I'm definitely happy to get another win here. I didn't want to go skunked this season in Bristol, so I was giving it my all. I know I'm not racing for points or anything, so everybody doesn't have to worry. I just came just to race Bristol. If there's another one on the season, I'm not going to run it after what happened tonight.
Well, there's always tomorrow after cooler heads prevail, and there's get them on the next one, and well, you never know. It's something weird. Like we had some hardware issues. Oliver, the 002, had problems right off the get-go, and things happen. People rub. I mean, when you're both fighting for first, and something like that happens, I know about a dozen guys in the field that would have absolutely taken first or second to be able to be running up front like you guys did the whole time. So it all just kind of depends on where you're at in the situation looking in.
Most definitely, and I know, like, Johnny and I are really good friends, and just to take out my buddy, it felt bad. But it was fun racing with these new guys. There's definitely a lot of promise coming in from these guys week in and week out. I can't wait to see them in the Xfinity Series next season, and I definitely can't wait to see who's going to come out on top at the end of this season. It's definitely a fun series here in the ARCA. It always has been since last season. and there's a lot of good competition, a lot of good guys, and everybody here is just respectable and awesome. So I hope the best for the rest of the season for these guys.
Yep, absolutely. All right, man. We'll let you get back to it, and we're gonna close out the evening for everybody at home.
Alrighty, take care, gentlemen.
All right, thanks. That is your race winner, Skylar Carnes. And you know what this means. You're going to get a one more time here with the video, and then we're out for the evening. You guys have a good night. And any of you that are currently under snow or about to be, I feel your pain. And with any luck, we'll be in, I don't know, spring soon enough. But in the meanwhile, if you're snowed in, we got a bunch of racing on the No Toad Racing Network YouTube channel. Flip through it and see what you like. And we'll catch you next Monday for more No Toad Racing on week number 6 on Monday Night ARCA.
You know where we're going next week, Brian?
Where?
Talladega.
Oh, that one, we may have to broadcast that one from the seat, because these ARCA cars on plates, man, that's my jam.
Yeah, we got 3 of those on the schedule this year, so that'll be interesting to see next Monday.
All right, guys, tune in for it. If nothing else, I'll probably be all caffeined up and really hyper. So, Kyle, I appreciate you in the booth again, and we're going to close this one out. We will see you next week from Talladega, Alabama, where it's probably not snowy.
Good job, buddy.